Hello, and welcome to the Benzonia Public Library YouTube channel, and also welcome to the first, and therefore probably worst, episode of Cooking with Jamie. In this little series, we are going to be focusing every episode on a different, underrated pantry ingredient that I use all the time. Today, we're focusing on coconut milk. Coconut milk is super underappreciated in a lot of Western cooking, and I'm super excited to show you guys 3 recipes that are super simple that utilize this ingredient. First, we're gonna make some green curry. I grew up on green curry. Traditionally, it not only has green curry paste in the base, but also fish sauce, sugars, and a lot of other spices and additives. I wanted to keep this really simple for you guys. So instead, we're focusing on the ingredients themselves and using the natural sweetness in red pepper, onion, and carrots to ensure that our curry is nice and balanced. The ingredients that you're going to need for this delectable curry are 1 cup of basmati or white rice, 1 tablespoon butter or oil, 1 medium onion, or in my case, 1/2 of a large onion, 1/4 of a cup of green curry paste, 1 red bell pepper, 1 cup of chopped carrots, or in my case, baby carrots that I chopped up, and if you want to add protein, you can do so, and we'll talk about that a little later. And of course, you're going to need the star of the show, 1 cup of light coconut milk. First of all, you're going to want to cook the rice, the specifications of your rice cooker or the pot you're using or whatever. I'm chopping baby carrots long ways 3 to 4 times. You're going to want to use a sawing motion to make sure that this is as safe as possible. You can also buy pre-chopped or shredded carrots. Next, you're going to cut your red bell pepper. You can do so however you want to. I generally start by cutting the top off and then taking out the center. Finally, you're going to want to chop your onion. Now you're going to want to cut paper thin slices or as close as you can get. We're browning the onion, caramelizing it, getting all of that natural sweetness out of it and using it to our advantage. And so you want these slices to be nice and thin. Once your prep work is done, you can add your butter or oil to a large, heavy saucepan. Get it nice and foamy before adding your onion and letting that brown, being super patient so it's done right. Next, stir in your green curry paste and then add in your coconut milk. You're going to want to let this get to a boil and maybe even reduce a little bit before you add your carrots and peppers at the same time. Cover this and let it boil off. The reason that we use light coconut milk instead of heavy coconut milk is because we want a higher content of water to cream. Because keep in mind that coconut milk is just coconut cream and coconut water in a can. So having that higher coconut water content will mean that'll all evaporate off and you get a thicker, richer curry. The reason we don't want to use coconut cream for this is that you won't be able to boil it as long to get the richness and flavor without all of it evaporating away. Once your curry has boiled and it's all thickened up, dump it on top of some rice and you're done. Unless, of course, you want to add protein. If you want to add a few chicken thighs or some tofu, you're going to want to do so right when you add in the green curry. So you have your onions, green curry, and protein dry frying in a pan for a bit before you add in your coconut milk. Next up, we have another favorite recipe of mine. This is a Thai-inspired coconut shrimp rice noodle dish that I absolutely love. The ingredients that you're going to need for this dish are 1 medium onion, or in my case, the other half that very large onion, 3 cloves of garlic, 1 tablespoon of butter or oil, 1/2 can or 6 ounces of full-fat coconut milk, 12 deveined frozen shrimp with shell on, 1 lime, a handful of cilantro, and optionally, you can add in some crushed chili flakes. The first thing you're going to want to do is boil your rice noodles. Do so according to the packaging. The next thing is to slice your onion. You don't have to do this as thinly as in the other recipe. Do this however you like. You're going to want to mince that garlic and zest that lime and chop up that cilantro as well. Pro tip, don't slice your thumb when you zest the lime. Apparently I'm not a pro enough to understand that, and my knuckle has some battle scars now. It's not fun. After you're done with your prep, you want to heat up that butter until it's super, super foamy. Add in your onion and let that brown on low heat. Be patient. I'm horrible at it, but you can do it. I believe in you. Next, you're going to add in your minced garlic. Just keep that in until fragrant, and then pour in your coconut milk. Then pour in your coconut milk and your shrimp. Let that boil off until your shrimp is nice and opaque and pink and lovely. Cooked but not tough. Keep an eye on it. As soon as they're opaque, they're ready to go. If you want to add in your lime juice, in addition to the lime zest we're going to use to top the dish, you can add that in now, so you don't curdle your coconut milk. Now, curdling is basically the separating of fat and water. That's really all it is. So if you do accidentally curdle your coconut milk, that's okay. It'll still taste perfectly fine. Nothing's bad or sour. The texture will just be a little bit off. Now, we plate this up on top of our nice bed of noodles and our creamy shrimp situation. Lime zest, cilantro. If you want to add in chili flakes, do that now. Bing, bang, boom, there you go. The next recipe I have for you guys is one of my favorites because it's a dessert. If you know me, you know desserts are my thing. They're my bread and butter, so let's do this. I made for you guys a beautiful coconut rice pudding that even my mom, who doesn't like sweets, enjoys. You're going to need 1/2 cup of short grain white rice, like sushi rice. You need to make sure that you're using a short grain rice that's starchy, because it'll soak up all the goodness you're going to add to it and get that texture that you want. If you use like a basmati or jasmine rice, you won't get the good pudding texture. It'll still be super grainy. You're also going to need 6 ounces, or about half a can of coconut cream, or heavy coconut milk using just the cream and not the water. 1 cup of milk of your choice. I use oat milk. 1/4 cup brown sugar, half a teaspoon of nutmeg, and you can also add in other spices like ground ginger or cinnamon if you'd like. The last thing that you need for this amazing recipe is your choice of toppings. I prefer frozen fruits and nuts, but it's totally up to you. The first thing you're going to do with this recipe is add everything aside from half of your milk. So that means everything aside from 1/2 cup of that oat milk, in my case. All of that is going into your rice cooker or into a pot if that's what you're using. You're going to boil that off for about 30 minutes until it's nice and thick and there's no residual runny liquid. Then you're going to add in your milk, the remaining 1/2 cup of milk that is, and let that sit for about 10 minutes. Then you can scoop it and add whatever toppings you want. For you guys, I did some of my favorites. Frozen peach and pistachio, frozen strawberries and chia seeds, and cinnamon and maple syrup. It's super delicious. And I guess that's it, guys. I hope that you really enjoyed these 3 recipes and had a lot of fun cooking with me today. If you tried any of these out for yourself, make sure to email photos to this email right here. You can email this email too if you have any questions. If you want the printed out version of all of these recipes, go to the library or go to the library's website to find copies. I have a lot of plans for this show, and I'll see you guys next week to help bring those plans into fruition. Bye-bye.